Hello. Today's Tuesday, May 5th, 2020. Losing my nerve to even do these videos, it seems. It's the end of another big day of work. 2 big days in a row. Been a little fatigued. About an hour before sundown. The day got away from me yesterday. Straight from work to home for shower to hosting my inner temple meditation out for sunset, and it started raining afterwards and was dark and nowhere to shoot a video. Hadn't had my dinner yet. Yeah, the day got away from me. Yesterday was my first day after 13 days of not shooting a video. So I'm picking it back up today, and I'm having some trouble getting in the groove a bit. What's on my heart? What's most true? What's most real? What's most meaningful for me to speak right now? I've been sensing a lot of people's restlessness around me. Went through my own really intense anxiousness and restlessness over the weekend. Kind of just woke up Monday morning and was back in some kind of neutral state without much explanation. And today, as I'm finishing work, I have a half a day of work tomorrow, but then I have quite a few days to focus on getting my business together. My business being kind of bringing my dreams into a business, bringing my wake-up call for the world into a business platform, into seeking a way that I'm doing work that feels meaningful for me. Because, man, my eyes are bleeding on the job right now. Don't feel connected to what I'm doing at all. And feel urgently that there's a lot of work for us to do on the planet together. And would like to be a part of, be assistance to getting our minds, our hearts, our bodies in gear to showing up for this work. Becky was asking me a couple of days ago, she's like, hey, I don't even really know exactly what your vision is for the earth, for the humans, for people. And in a way I have a lot of really big visions. And I feel there's a lot of not good things going on the planet right now, like to a scale greater than we're willing to acknowledge. And I think soon we're going to be faced with the reality of this truth, and it's going to unground many of us. And yet, in the presence of that sobering truth, there's going to be work for us to do. In the acknowledging of it, in the cleaning it up, and in the anchoring in what it is we do want to create here on this planet. What does it look like? I believe there's so many layers to all of us waking up to our true nature, our true nature being, source energy manifest right here, right now. And I think conceptually sometimes we believe that or think that, and then there's different layers of us actually starting to like realize that and embody that and acknowledge that for ourselves in deeper and deeper ways, and show up and live that in our lives. And I believe that acknowledgement takes us out of so many things. It takes us out of religions. It takes us out of politics. It takes us out of wars. It can take us out of relationships. But ultimately, it wakes us up to our connection back to source and what real life is all about. And in that more awakened place, we're excited to connect with other humans who are also in this awakened place, and to dream about the magnitude and the beauty of what we can create from this more beautiful, connected state of mind and state of consciousness. And then you look out into the world and you realize there's not too many people in that awakened state of consciousness. So then what? Do you just forget about it and go back to playing job, house, and hide out and wait and see what happens? Or do you spend your energy trying to support that awakening in others, help encourage it, guide people towards it, start to create groups of people who are in similar vibrations, to see what it is we can create, to see what it is we can do to help wake up the masses on that bigger level, so that we can create more of a systemic change, so that we're not fighting against other humans just to create a more beautiful paradigm or reality. And yes, I think in the fully awakened state, we don't have governments. We don't have economies of money. We already have this earth economy right here, we already have that sun, stars, we already have all of the order we need to align ourselves with. And in that awakened state, we can be ready to be of assistance to others who lose that for themselves, and help to bring them back in. But man, it's a lot of work to do if there's only a handful, right? And the more of us awakened in that place, there's not a need for the rules and the laws for each other, or the enforcing of things, or the policing of each other. There's not a need for that fear or the engagement of life, like life's out there to get us or to do us wrong all the time. So I guess this is a beginning of me speaking to it, and I'll speak to it more and more in detail as I do these videos, and I guess as I just learn how to get comfortable with speaking my truth here, and find where my dialogue begins and ends with where I'm at with myself today. I guess I wanted to speak to there's so much tension when I'm at work. I'm exhausted. I'm just can't wait to be done with it, to be free, to focus on something more meaningful and true for myself. And then as I kind of break into that open space of a few days, I can get lost really quick and overwhelmed with just where do I start? What do I do? What's my first step? What's the most productive or real thing I can do to start to move my life forward in a way that I could maybe be living this expression in a greater way? How could I be speaking to a bigger audience? How can I get myself ready to speak to this bigger audience? And is it one-on-ones with people? Is it presentations? It's weekend workshops. That's that's already kind of starting and trying to gain some momentum. But ultimately, I want to connect people with their truth, with their inner truth. I want to help humans step outside of religion, step out of giving their power away to political ideologies, to getting caught up in separation with like race or culture or country, and to start to anchor in their identity as as an embodied spirit being here in a human body, and that no matter whatever your beliefs were or are, that we gotta all show up here on the planet for each other right now. And if your beliefs are in the way of doing that, like, you may have to look at your beliefs and why you hold them and how they're serving you or anyone else. And as we awaken to our truth, that it doesn't need to be the same as anyone else's, and it never needs to be underneath someone else. And you don't need to spend 10, 20, 30 years learning the customs or the rituals of any faith or any tradition to get into your most holy place. But we do need to show up for it. We do need to put effort into developing a strong, deep intimacy and connection, communication with that inner spirit voice, to where it's going to keep opening up in our lives more and more. And from that more connected cosmic place, not as much can rock us in the way of crazy news, crazy stories, crazy whatever. It has to fit in with our truth as we already know it. And as we feel connected in the great beyond, beyond the earth, beyond the time of this life, we are not so challenged by a great variety of happenings. And we're seeing how those happenings are playing into our own awakening and the awakening of the planet, and how we can show up and be a part of that and assist it in the healing of the earth, assisted in the healing of the human species, assist us into coming to a place where we're creating men and women together, masculine and feminine together, to co-create beautiful reality, new systems, new things that are of benefit to everyone that comes into contact with them, that are a benefit to the earth, are a benefit to humans, that are supporting humans in their own healing and growth, in their own connectivity back down into the earth and up into the stars. We don't see too many of those things present right now. But to me, the New Earth paradigm is a place where only these kind of things are present. And if it's not doing this, if it's not taking good care of the water and the plants and the animals and each other, then there's no place for it. It's not necessary. So yeah, my vision of the New Earth looks very different. And I also feel it's not something I have to make happen. I feel it's inevitable. As I also feel the awakening of every human is inevitable. And yet, I can't be but moved to want to work towards that, keep working towards more awakening for myself and supporting that in others, and beginning to set up what I would see as a new earth structure, something that would be a benefit right now, and that would fit into this vision of a new earth, that would still be beautiful 100 years, 1,000 years from now, not just something that can make me money in this current country I'm in at this current moment for this next year, and has no meaning for me or anyone else. That's a little bit of what's burning inside of me, and it takes me 5-10 minutes to even uncover it enough to speak to it. But yeah. That's the beginning for today. I'll do my best to just also be speaking my truth of what's real for me in these moments. I'm dreaming big. I'm daring myself to believe in my dreams. I'm daring myself to take the risky bet and to go for it this year. So that the universe has no doubt where I've placed all my money, where I've laid down all in on this bet. That's where I'm at. But thank you for listening to this rant, and till next time, bye.